In our latest Parenting Pulse segment with parenting pundit Julie Cole, we chat styles of parenting. Now, I'm sure you've heard about one style of parenting over and over again, and that is the helicopter parent. But there's more styles than just that. So Julie lays out the positive and negative aspects of a series of parenting styles. But first, I asked Julie if a person chooses a parenting style or if the style is simply based on a person's personality type.
It's kind of interesting, particularly for our generation, you know, when we were raised on a hose water and neglect, and then we become parents, and then we become parents. We're like, oh, maybe we should add to that, but how do we? So I think we have our general styles of our personalities, which is, you know, some people are empaths, some people are more patient, and then also we bring in our generational trauma too, or bring in any history that we have, and you know, often we take what we liked and we try to dismiss or improve on what we don't like. So I think parents will go into 2026 being like, okay, these are maybe some things I want to work on, but it is interesting to think about how we've identified some of the different styles and maybe what you like and don't like. When you're, you know, we can always improve at things, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's good and bad in every style.
Exactly.
And I think the first thing that people are thinking right now, even if they don't know what we're talking about, is the helicopter parent. I mean, we know the overbearing nature of the helicopter parent, and immediately it's thought of as being bad, but is there a good side to this as well?
So I'm going to say no. Okay, so
No, you're supposed to outline the good and the bad, Julie.
yeah, no, I'm going to kind of go no with some of the, I think, the parenting styles that people know a little bit about are the helicopter and the snowplow. So I think both of those need some work, and I'm going to tell you why. The helicopter parent is the parent who, as the name would, tell you, hovers around. Yeah. And you know what, Jason, you're right. The good is that it comes from a place of love and safety and wanting the best for your child. Unfortunately, all this hovering about leads to kids who are not independent as they get older, and then they lack confidence, and it impacts their self-confidence and abilities as they get older. So I mean, I think we've all met that kid who's been helicoptered and we're like, oh boy, you can see it. And I think that we feel the same with the snowplow parent. So the snowplow is, as the name again suggests, what does a snowplow do? It removes things. So imagine like the snowplow parent is removing obstacles, they're removing problems. So whenever their child encounters something like this, it gets taken care of for them. And now this, of course, is nice at the time, but it is problematic because as children, that's where we get our practice. Like we practice problem solving small stuff. We practice like dealing with obstacles. And if we don't get that practice in and develop those skills, we become those adults who can't emotionally cope with it and can't practically cope with it. And, failure and problem solving, dealing with problems, those are actually gifts for children. So parents need to give their kids the opportunity to deal with those because today's problem solvers are tomorrow's leaders. So I say a thumbs down into 2026 for helicoptering and snowplowing.
Okay, so now there are other ones here, and I don't know as much about these, and I'm betting most of our viewers and listeners don't know as much about these, and that is, the gentle parent. Is this the one that just wants to talk about feelings all the time? Because I've had enough of that.
Okay, and you know what? Yes, you've had enough of that. But I will tell you, gentle parenting has a bad rap because people see it as permissive, and it's actually not. It's not permissive, but it does acknowledge feelings. I feel like I may be parented this way. I feel like my mother parented this way. So it's not, so gentle parenting isn't your kids saying, I don't want to brush my teeth. And you saying, okay, fine, don't, I get it. Let's talk about it, but you don't have to do it. Gentle parenting is like, I hear that you don't want to do that, and I understand that you're tired, but this is not a negotiable. We have to keep our teeth healthy.
Now you also have the lighthouse parent here, and I don't know. Is this just a beacon signal? We let our children go on our way, and then we're just the lighthouse they can come back to?
A little bit. You're right. Like, you're looking at the terms. So it is a bit like that. So you're kind of in that stormy weather. You're the security. You're the calm. You're consistent. You're always there. But you let them work their way through the storm. But you do provide that stability to them. It's sort of seen as maybe, not as gentle parenting, but not like as hands off as, say, free range parenting.
I like that one. That one sounds like a pretty good structure to me. The last one here is just frightening. It's called, FAFO, and it's an acronym for F around and find out. This is just this is like if you touch the stove, you know you're not going to touch it again. Is that what this is?
You got it. You got it. It's about natural consequences. So you know what? You don't want to wear your coat, don't wear your coat, be cold. And I am a big fan of natural consequences. As you know, I'm okay. If my kids forget their gym clothes, I'm not going to run out and bring their gym clothes. They can miss gym that day. That's just what happens when you forget your gym clothes, right? And it's not punishment. It's just learning natural consequences. And it's awesome, I think, because it does provide them with real world experience for the choices they make. So it does naturally teach them to make better choices. So I'm okay with the FAFO.